G'day guys, me again. We're talking good investments in four-wheel drives now. One thing that you probably should invest in, other than suspension and tyres, is some good underbody protection. As you can see at the front there, I've got my bash plate on, for those of you who watch my other videos. For those of you who haven't, I've got a front bash plate on there from Britpart. It's 8mm thick steel with 8mm steel brackets and high tensile steel bolts. These are diff guards from QT Services. They're also a slider, and today I'm going to be fitting them onto my Land Rover Discovery. I'll be testing them out as best I can. I don't really want to smash anything too much, but I'll be fitting those up for you guys and doing a review and letting you guys know how they go before you fit them on your car. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to jack it up with the diff, and you want to get an axle stand under there, probably as high as it can go, just to get you some room to work under there. Then what you want to do is unbolt your steering damper. Depending on what you have will depend on what spanners you use, but you want to get that off. And then you want to take off the steering damper mount, and bolted to that is a weight for your steering, and that's fairly heavy, so you might want to get a friend to come and help you with that. But you want to take that off also, and then what you want to do is on the top of the diff you want to take the nuts off, and there's a plate that comes in the kit. You want to put the plate on the diff, and you want to tighten those nuts down. And then after you do that, you want to get the diff guard on. Now we struggled a little bit with the front diff guard. The weight is round and the diff guard is square, and that just doesn't work. So we had to cut down, used a 1mm cutting disc, and we cut down probably 20 or 30mm down and probably 15mm in, just to get the steering dampener to actually line up properly and fit. And then after we did that, we bolted it into the car using the existing bolts. The bolts that came in the package aren't exactly long enough to do the job, so we used the existing bolts that came off the car in the first place. And then you want to get your steering damper back on. Now the rear diff, same principle basically. Jack the diff up, put an axle stand at its highest, as high as it'll go, and then what you want to do is there's a brake line that runs across the top of the diff. Now before you bolt the mounting plate on the top of the diff at 12 and 1, you want to just tweak that brake line up a little bit, just to get the plate underneath. Then once you've done that, obviously just put your diff guard straight on. It's a little bit more simple than the front one. And then you just want to get the two bolts that are provided in the kit and bolt it in on the diff as tight as it will go. Then obviously you can lower the car down.